Let's get to know Craig Bowyer. What is your favourite meal and who cooks it?
My favourite meal is cooked by my wife, and it's just a simple lightning chicken meal. Has some thyme and some cream in it, and just served on just a basic mashed potato with some green vegetables. It's nice and simple, but very nice. Yeah.
Who is your favourite band?
My favourite band would be In Excess.
When you were at school, which teen group were you in, i.e. the jocks, the mean girls, alternatives, loners, nerds?
I certainly wasn't in the mean girls, and certainly not in the jocks. I was, just that person who was on the fringes of most things, without ever being the cool, in the cool group. And later on, by the time you get to your last year in school, most people don't really care about that kind of stuff, and everyone just gets on well with each other. Yeah.
Have you ever been arrested?
No.
What would you consider to be a good crime to be arrested for?
A good crime to be arrested for. I don't know about a crime, but if you believe in something and you believe in it strongly enough, then make yourself heard and get out there. And if that leads to you possibly being arrested, then at least you've stood up for what you truly believe in. Yeah.
If you were running for government, which party would you be with?
Realistically, National.
Now on to the serious questions. Why are you running for mayor?
Because I care. I care about our community. I care about our town. And I've become really disillusioned the last 3 years with how acrimonious council has become. Its inability to work together for the community to get things across the line. The town hall is a classic example of 6 years now. We've been talking, and still nothing is done. There are some huge divisions within council, and I believe that I can bring people together because in the end, we're elected by the community, so we need to listen to the community and make things happen.
If you could wave a magic wand and change one thing in the region, what would it be?
Good question. What would I change? I think at the moment, social inequality. It's just the gulf between the have and have-nots is massive. Okay, and I'll be honest, I'm fortunate. Okay, things have panned out okay. Even though I had a late start, it was $28, $137. Things have panned out okay, but you've got to have a look around at the moment. The cost of living is just destroying families, destroying communities. It's just out of hand. And council, we have to be aware of that. And as mayor, you've got to be aware of these things, that you actually do have the ability to influence part of it. And so you've got to try. You've got to try. The inequality at the moment, and that's, if it gets out of hand, you get real social unrest, and we don't need that.
What's the first step to handling social inequality?
For me, letting people know that their voices can be heard. Because as soon as you don't think your voice is being heard, you think, what's the point? And we're seeing those steps now where people seem happier to speak up and use their voice, and they need to get in contact with councillors and say, hey, look, this isn't good enough. Use the services available. Say to them, get them to come to council and say, hey, we need more. We need a greater focus on what we're doing. And that way we can get it. Because everyone goes on Facebook and rants, okay? Now, and you end up with the huge sides of everything, okay? But so long as we're taking notice and actually doing something. The big one is to do something. Because we can talk forever, but if you're not doing anything, then people will go, what's the point?
If you win the election, what issue will you make your number one priority?
Currently, we need to sort out this town hall, okay? This has been dragging on forever, okay? And I'd use the words, if we decide we need the town hall, I am in favour of building it where it is. currently is, the current site, demolishing that. That helps with our climate, CO2 emissions, reuse, redo, everything. Okay, so we have to be very aware of it. But we've been a long time without a hall. So if the community want a hall, then I am definitely, let's do it where it is, the current site.
What can the council do to help slow down or limit climate change?
Well, first of all, we have to acknowledge it's real. Okay, not so sure about declaring an emergency as the right thing. That just seems to be a PC thing to do at the moment. But acknowledge it's real. Look to do our bit. Town hall. We use solar power. We reuse the water to irrigate the trees that got pulled out 8-9 years ago. Okay, we replant the trees. We just encourage people to do their bit as far as climate change. But if you're struggling to put food on the table, council can't say, okay, we're going to take another $10 a month off you to pay for a climate change that we really like. Everyone does their bit now with rubbish, recycling, green waste, that kind of stuff. So we have to do things slowly. We got here quite quickly, okay? But we have to get out slowly, because if we go real fast, then economically there'll be a lot of pain, okay? But council needs to really do the bit, and they needs to really lead the way, okay? And for me, I come back to it, there'll be massive carbon issues if we go to a new site, concrete, everything else. Let's be realistic about the whole thing. Yeah.
Who are the at-risk groups in the region, and how will you help them?
Well, the at-risk groups, that group is getting larger by the day, okay? Because simply the cost of living is getting so the current council, we have great donations, grants, that kind of stuff. They need to continue. We need to work with other industry providers and let them know that there is funding available. Now, there'll be groups out there who won't know that there's actual funding available through the council. So we need to connect with these groups, get behind them and say, look, there's funding available for these things. Come and see us. Apply. And just keep applying. Just keep doing it. Because keep pressure on us to help you.
What is your stance on 3 waters, and how could council do a better job?
My stance on 3 waters. Right, so within Masterton, I actually don't think we need it. Marston's water supply is actually pretty good. However, if you're down Coburn Street, you might disagree with that, but that needs to be sorted out, okay? All in all, Marston's water system works well, okay? There's been a lot of money spent on it over the years, which we won't be getting back if 3 waters goes through. Now, 3 waters has been mandated, so all we can do is voice opposition if we believe the community believes they don't want it. But there are towns, if you're in Wellington, you're all for this, all for 3 waters. Myself, I don't think Marston needs it. And the other side of it that always keeps on coming up is co-governance. Okay, I look at it this way. If we had greater involvement from iwi and Māori in general, then probably we wouldn't have seen a lot of these water rights sold to overseas companies. So we need to bear some of that in mind. Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to the public, Craig?
I think truly it is time for change. Time for change in this council. Time to have people who are focused on community issues and wanting the community to move on and get ahead. We've stagnated for too long. Yes, we've had COVID, we know that, but we need to have a plan, and we need to make sure that we're all on board, council, everyone.